also psychological warfare is doing well. And when I say doing well, I mean it's out there like making a difference.
That's true.
And I remember there was actually, a few weeks ago, I said, "Oh yeah, I don't need it anymore." I got my boost but yeah, I needed it. I went right back to it, and boom, worked. There. Easy money. Yeah, that's the genius of it.
What did you need it for? What was the scenario?
The workout, the same as always. Like, man, I could easily.
I got some projects to finish up right now, and so I love to wake up early in the morning, work out, but I got to prioritize and execute right now to finish some projects.
Good.
And so, like today, I woke up and wrote because I got projects.
Hell yeah.
And it's so easy. If you don't work out in the morning, it's so easy to not work out. And because by the time I had this, and then I didn't get where I wanted, and then I had something else, and then I'm trying to work on this, and then the email. So now, because what I want to do is like, hey, I'm just going to go get a pre-lunch workout, like 11 o'clock in the morning, get in there and get it done.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it was 11:30, all of a sudden it was 12, all of a sudden it was like 12:10, get the workout started. Yeah. And now I'm a little bit hungry, and you have a little thought of, you know what, maybe I shouldn't work out. But I actually didn't have that thought. I said, you know what I said? Cool. I'm tired. I'm fasted. And I don't feel like working out. So I'm definitely going to work out right now. I'm going to make it a good one. So that's what I did.
Well, yeah. But not everybody's like that, Paul.
No, well, and like the voice that's in psychological warfare, I actually have to live with that asshole all the time.
So you know already. Yeah. You know
there is no like, it doesn't, it never presses pause. It never stops. It's always in there telling me, get to the gym. You don't want to work out? Good. Get in there and crush yourself. I have to live with that guy. So
yeah, that's good. Which really is the originating story of psychological warfare.
Yes,
so if you don't know, psychological warfare is a album with tracks that you can purchase from iTunes.
Music. There's no music.
Correct.
Do you think it should have had music?
Well, okay, maybe, but
the problem is, there's too many different types of music.
Yeah, and it wouldn't have the same effect, I don't think.
That's true. So I agree with you.
Yeah, so...
Because otherwise I would have said, hey, put some little instrumental, whatever.
Yeah. Well, here's... like, if there's music on certain things, like you like to listen to certain, like, you hear a speech of, I don't know, Martin Luther King or somebody saying, like, a speech and you want to get inspired, it'll work for sure, but that's not really what this is. In that specific way, it's more like you actually talking.
That's a good point.
It's like you're part of like.
It's
your
like
own
when you
brain.
see like the movie No Country for Old Men.
Yeah,
I don't know if you've seen that movie. There's no soundtrack.
Yeah,
it's just the actual sounds of earth and people and walking, and that is such a cool effect. So I think you're right in this case.
Yeah,
No Country for Old Men, by the way, written by Cormac McCarthy, who also wrote Blood Meridian.
Dig it. Dang.
Yeah, layers. By the way,
layers all over. But yeah, all right. That's it. Psychological. Oh, I didn't finish explaining what it is. So it's an album you can get iTunes, Amazon Music, whichever, and they're basically you listen to it if you're ever feeling a moment of weakness before you want to go, work out,
before you want to do something or not do something,
or not. Yeah, if you're making a decision and you're choosing the short-term payoff over the long-term payoff, like essentially
donuts,
eating donut, or it's just messing up your diet with donuts or sugary stuff, or
donuts,
skipping the workout.
When I was going to Airborne school, there was this Sergeant Major, and he was some black guy from Georgia. Yeah. And for some reason, there's the Chattahoochee River down there.
Yeah.
And he says, let me tell you what, you go down in that Chattahoochee River. So he's talking about if you're parachuting and you end up in the Chattahoochee, you better watch out. There's snakes in the Chattahoochee. And there's alligators in the Chattahoochee and snakes. And vines that'll wrap you up in snakes. Snakes in the Chattahoochee. So I always thought, you know what? Let's keep clear of the Chattahoochee because there's snakes in there.
Right. So is that kind of what you were trying to replicate there with the psychological warfare?
No. I forget what I just did, but it led me into that story about the snakes in the Chattahoochee River.
Yep. You got to beware for sure. Beware the sugar-coated lies. I don't know. Yeah. By the way, your impression of what was his name?
I have no idea. Yeah. He was what's called a BlackHat at Army Airborne School back in the day. The Navy used to only go to the Army Airborne School. So you get done with SEAL training, and you're all in good shape and feeling, and then you show up at Airborne school, which is a much, it's a less strenuous school than SEAL training. I mean, you're not special operations if you go there. I mean, pretty much anyone in the Army, or very many people in the Army. So it's a 3-week school. It's a good school. I mean, obviously the biggest thing you got to overcome there is not physical. It's the fear of heights or whatever, fear of jumping. But yeah, so you go down there, and the BlackHats are the guys that run Airborne school. It's a totally professional thing. It was a lot of fun. And that Sergeant Major, though, he was awesome. Yeah. He had the crazy eyes. You know what I mean? Guys with crazy eyes. So and the one other thing he said to me one day, because he liked me. You know why he liked me? Because I was getting after it.
Hell yeah.
And he said to me, he goes, "Hey," and I think he called me like Navy. Yeah, that's what he called me. He just called me Navy, right? Because they don't know what our ranks are, so he just called me Navy. He's like, "Hey, Navy." And I said, "What's up?" Yeah, I was like, "I think you said clear." For some reason, you said clear, Sergeant Major or something. I go, "Clear, Sergeant Major." And he goes, "Let me tell you something. When you get back to your SEAL team, one day I want you to come over to JSOC, and we'll have fun killing motherfuckers." Now, what do you think? I was like 19 years old. I was like, I am so in. Wherever you go, Sergeant Major, I'm with you. I'm in the game. Yep. So yeah, that was Sergeant Major BlackHat.
Dang. Down
at Airborne School.
You kind of sound like Taj Mahal, the singer.
I don't even know who that is.
He's a blues singer, man. I actually grew up with his family on Kauai.
Oh.
He's a traveling guy. But yeah, he's a blues singer. Anyway,
he's a what guy?
He's a blues singer.
Oh, okay. But he's from Hawaii?
He's not from Hawaii.
Because, I mean, how can you really get a lot of blues when you live in Hawaii?
Hey, you'd be surprised, man. But you sound like him. Your little imitation there. It's good.
We Taj have Mahal. Fun killing motherfuckers.
He never said that.
Yes.
But, Anyway, there it is. Psychological warfare. Sounds more like Jocko, not Taj Mahal. And he convinces you that making the long-term decision to stick with the discipline path, he gives you that boost in your head. So it's like, yeah, it's good. Anyway, check that one out. You want to get one of those or just the album's good. It's been number one. It's been straight up number one.
Straight up number one. Since day one.
Yeah.
So everyone that's hooked it up, thank you for so that's a good way to support the podcast too.
Yeah. Dig it.
Is because it costs $9.99 to buy the album.
Yeah, the whole thing. There's like 14
And you know what? We were like, oh, how do we do this? Well, hey, it's $9.99. Boom, done.
Yeah.
You can get it. And you're supporting the podcast, so that's cool.